in any case, this is where Key West technically started up in what, 1821 till 1819 for what it's worth. All of Florida used to belong to Spain. Remember Ponce de Leon, all that, but they never do nothing with it. And then we start up as a new country, save up all our extra money for about 50 years, and then we buy Florida off Spain, and they come down here to start up a town because, well, I mean, we're down here on the corner of the map, obviously, good place, but we also have the only deep water harbor for about 1,000 miles around. Now, nowadays, I think just about everybody got a deep water harbor because they can never scoop out deep water harbor, but back in the sailing ship times, anywhere else. And then they find like a 10-year-old kid, and they just give him a bag of jam sandwiches and some Archie comics or whatever, and they hoist a little kid up to the top of the tower. They do like that the whole week long, and then each little kid be responsible for that little wedge of horizon right from their own tower. And if they see a ship about ready to crash in the reef out there, they shout out, "Wreck ashore!" in their squeaky little kid voice, and then everybody get in that big old boat race I described, and the winner get to be a millionaire and live in a big house and relax for the rest of his life. So it get a little competitive. There might be 200-300 guys out there in rowboats all hauling away. But along the one, I mean, the Navy split town, of course, and they built this neighborhood. At which time they could have taken on the fence line of a Navy base, because this ain't a Navy base no more. But I think early in, the people with houses back here realized make their house a little more frou-frou if it's separated off from the rest of town, so they leave it up for historical reasons. Now that particular gate ain't ever going nowhere because that belongs to and will only open for the sitting president of the United States of America, or the lawn guys. But still, it's a tight list. We not on the list. Essentially, Truman stayed in that house every long weekend for the depth of his presidency. It's maybe the first time in our history where we actually had that president technology, where you go on presidenting from anywhere in the whole wide world. You didn't have to be in Washington, D.C. necessarily, you know. So they didn't like him so much up there, and so he didn't like him back. And he'd just come be president from Key West whenever he could. And he'd bring the whole cabinet down, and they'd wear like aloha shirts and call each other by their first name. Drink quite a bit, but still pretty much go on doing the business and stay. They didn't want him to have to stay in line with the sailors or whatever, so they gave him his own gate to come and go by. And so that's why that comes the president's gate. Lady crashed her Jeep into it about 10 years ago. And like 20 minutes later, we got black helicopters, yellow tape, dudes in suits talking in their sleeves. It was like full on. They had to establish that it wasn't like a
terrorist attack?
Yeah, some sort of political statement being made. That was, of course, the world headquarters of Pan American Airline. It was their innovation to wire wicker chairs to the bottom of their cargo plane. And that was a brothel. You see that similar brand of real estate all the way down this fence line of Navy base. That's what you got to do. It's my understanding it's a very lonesome work. I don't know for sure. I've never served. Onward. Isn't it like the yoga planet?
Well, most of them aren't like that. They're almost flat. Like the last one we were at, that was like a really flat looking one.
Yeah,
this one's a big full one
as well. How different they are, but basically what it comes down to is whether these roots, and that is really root.
Yeah.
Whether it's allowed to hit the ground or not.
Right.
And I don't think they're coming along cutting them off even. If you just so much as touch it, it breaks. So, I mean, not touch, but if you give it a little flick, it'll snap real super easy. So
and that's what these are right here. That's root coming down.
Under these. But now, say for example that this wasn't a bank parking lot, it was just field in the middle of nowhere, then these would come down and eventually they'd thicken up to that, and it would leapfrog that way and that way.
And keep going.
And apparently they got one in Maui, or you get burned down. But it was like this, but it covers an acre or so.
Wow.
So you go in there and look around. Anyway, we'll go investigate the post office. Speaking of FedEx, our post office not here. Anybody can get a job at the post office. Like if you want to be a mailman in Key West, You just kind of walk in and you'd be like, I want to be a mailman, let's throw you a satchel.
Wow.
I think they've got it subcontracted down like 2 or 3 levels, and you don't get any benefits or nothing, and they're kind of mean.
So it's done a little bit differently than the other federal post
but
offices.
it's interesting that I get my mail at 9:30 at night. At 8:30 my bedtime.
A little bit. It's a little.
I know it's there.
Yeah.
For years I was smelling this on the breeze, and I couldn't quite figure out where it was coming from. So it took me a while to track down. These are the very same flowers that they make your necklace out of when you go to visit White.
Right.
Who's bright?
The leg.
Let's bring him here. But
Are they wearing the hair?
that'll do too. Also, I should say they go beautifully behind a boy's ear if you was so inclined. They just sort of stick there of their own accord. These trees will go 40 feet tall and just be covered in flowers. In fact, this should be covered in flowers, but I think they went behind too many years over the last few weeks. Mine included. Get full on real with it, and it used to be they were checking reading the numbers off airplanes and cross-checking flight logs and stuff, and 6 hours before you get down here, the crowd form up here, be like 200 people just all packed
Right
up.
here, yeah.
And then they start recording. They gotta send a security guard pops head out and says, okay, we're doing take, can you guys just kind of keep it down? And then for like 10 minutes everybody's talking. But you can hear the music coming out, so that's nice. And then the music stops and the guard pokes his head back up. He's like, never go, yay! So they sort of feel like they're
At a
in
concert.
At a concert.
Boy, speaking of YouTube videos, I shouldn't bring this up. It's dreadful, but I can kind of describe it. It used to be right here. They would back up a rider truck, and they would unload bales of cocaine
Yeah.
Wow.
in broad daylight.
Yeah.
Like you'd be just sitting here like us, and then there'd be like a truck over there. Oh, what them
Because it's not
fellas
just
doing?
Jimmy Buffett that
And
would
they're
use
just-
that facility. They would be, everybody would use it.
I mean, I don't know if we blame the cocaine on Jimmy Buffett, but it was definitely a different time in Key
Yes.
West. I expect he probably paid about $3,500 for that square of land. Again, it's like investing in margaritas. He got some back. He doing all right. Man, I hate to see him go though. Bummer. It's like I say I was really impressed with his last visit to Key West because I mean, he seemed real conscious of like what he means to people. I mean, he didn't make it about himself when he certainly could have, because the guy's a rock star, right? But he really made it about people at Key West. They did a couple of free concerts over at a theater in town where well, you had to wait in line for 4 hours in the sunshine. You got up there, you show your ID. Okay, here, you know, I live over on 3rd Street. He's like, come on in, it's free. So a free concert for locals. And he popped up in all kinds of bar and definitely signed his name a bunch of times, got his picture with hundreds of people. And I don't know if you ever just shake hands 40 times in a row, your hand get a little raw.
Yeah.
It's like my mom said when she graduated from university, they shook her hand because she was a girl. And of course that there weren't any other girls, so it was kind of groundbreaking. But they don't shake everybody's hand because you shake hands 400 times and it messes you up as a pianist.
Yeah.
Well, anyway, on that bright note, let's go home and eat pie. This too, I want to say thank you for taking our bike tour. I'm not sure which one of you dreamed this up, but thank you indeed.
Hey.
You're our bread and butter. And if anyone asks if our bike tour is fun, just go ahead and tell them it's fun no matter what. Your personal opinion on the matter could be way helping us out.